headlines thanks to reporting by MSNBC this weekend. Donald Trump is now the only president in history who decided to appoint someone to a job in his administration after that person had been recorded on video by the FBI accepting $50,000 in cash.
Thanks, Caroline. So on the Homan investigation, can you just speak to, did the president ask the Justice Department to close the case, and does Homan have to return the $50,000?
Well, Mr. Homan never took the $50,000 that you're referring to, so you should get your facts straight, number one. Number two, this was another example of the weaponization of the Biden Department of Justice against one of President Trump's strongest and most vocal supporters. Mr. Homan did absolutely nothing wrong. Even Kash Patel's FBI looked into this just to make sure. They had a number of different prosecutors and FBI agents who looked into this. They found zero evidence of illegal activity or criminal wrongdoing in the White House, and the president stand by Tom Homan 100% because he did absolutely nothing wrong, and he is a brave public servant.
But just remember, next time some shitbird tries to claim that Biden weaponized the DOJ, you should remind them that Merrick Garland was the Attorney General. In no way did Biden weaponize the Department of Justice against Donald Trump. If anything, they gave Donald Trump chance after chance after chance.
So 92 indictments. Jack Smith, the indictments around Jack Smith, I think were 300 years in prison. They wanted to put President Trump in prison. Remember, they wanted Trump to die in prison. They want Trump still to die in prison. This fight and battle is far from over.
A truth bomb.
MSNBC was first to report that Tom Homan, President Trump's border czar, was allegedly recorded accepting $50,000 in a bribe from undercover FBI agents last September. They found no credible evidence of any criminal wrongdoing after a full review.
I mean, this is like right out of a movie. Did Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, accept a bag with 50 grand in it from undercover FBI agents posing as businessmen who said they needed help with the Trump administration? Given the weight of the claims, I want to break down what we know and what we need to know. Homan allegedly said on audio tape that he would help them. Is any of this firsthand? Or is it just reporting from people who had a source or maybe a document? We don't know. The public has not heard the audio tapes. They should be released. Why? So we can know what was said. We don't know why the FBI probe was closed by the Trump administration.
I'm going to give you a real look into FBI policy. A public corruption investigation by its nature is deemed a sensitive criminal matter. You must notify DOJ. The fact that we now know potentially there was an undercover operation, that means that this investigation was not in the preliminary stages. Why do we know that? Because the rules of engagement do not allow those type of investigative techniques to be used during the preliminary stage, only during the full open investigation, which means that obviously there was a full-blown investigation. Given what the trajectory of the FBI was back in 24, there is no doubt that had there been criminal exposure with respect to Tom Homan violating federal statute with respect to engaging in criminal conduct that rose to the level of a bribery, they would have run to the grand jury and he would have been indicted. There was no such criminal act. There was no such violation, and it is appropriate to now close that investigation. I also want to add, given the sensitive nature of these type of investigation, policy prevents the FBI from releasing these type of recordings, and rightfully so, because Mr. Homan has a right to protect his integrity and his reputation.
The tapes never lie. The Tom Homan tape will not lie if we can just see that tape.
It's all coming out, Lawrence. It's just a matter of time.
Always reliable, MSNBC, and they said that you took $50,000 in cash in a bag from an undercover FBI agent to help them win government contracts in Trump's second term. The DOJ said they concluded there was no criminal wrongdoing, but nevertheless, that story is out there, and I imagine you want to respond to that.
Absolutely. Look, I did nothing criminal. I did nothing illegal. And there's hit piece after hit piece after hit piece. And I'm glad the FBI and DOJ came out and said, said that nothing illegal happened and nothing, no criminal activity. You're talking about a guy who spent 34 years enforcing the law. So after all the sacrifices, after serving my nation for all these years, they want to come out and dirty me up. And it's not going to end. There's a hit piece on me every 2 weeks. But keep coming, because you know what? Tom Homan isn't going anywhere. Tom Homan isn't shutting up. And Tom Homan's going to keep doing what he's doing, because working with President Trump's the greatest honor of my life. We're making this country safer again every day, and we're going to keep doing it.
So the initial reaction was this whole thing was just a Biden-era weaponization of the federal government. But then they realized, crap, we can't exactly say that because we've been saying the same thing about the Epstein stuff, and it just makes us look like we're making it up if we're using the same excuse, for all the scandals. So they spent a couple days, I guess, workshopping a new excuse for Tom Homan's, alleged blatant corruption. And now they've come up with this. They said, the White House is now saying Tom Homan didn't take the $50,000 in cash at all. That was not part of their statement when we first went to them on Saturday. Multiple people familiar with the case say he did accept the money, as does an internal government document reviewed by MSNBC.
Can't make it up.
In no way was the Biden DOJ weaponized against criminal, convicted felon, insurrectionist Donald Trump.
They suffer from a thing called TDS. Do you know what that is? Yes. TDS, it's a horrible, horrible terminal disease. It destroys the mind. It destroys the mind before the body, but the body eventually goes. TDS is Trump derangement syndrome. They have it at levels. They can't even stand their life. They can't stand anything. And, part of the reason is I won an election which everybody said couldn't be won.
And stop making things up about our next president, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
The FBI itself said they have it on video of him literally taking the money. It's on video. Release the video.
The FBI recorded him accepting from undercover agents $50,000 in cash. So that's not a denial. He said, I did nothing criminal. No, but did you do that thing that she just said? Well, I did nothing criminal. Yeah, well, according to the Trump DOJ, you didn't. I mean, release the audio and we can all judge. They have audio of it, supposedly. Release it.
Do you think Homan should be fired?
I think Homan should absolutely be held accountable for being caught with $50,000 cash in a bag. I think he should resign. He is a disgrace to this government.
We are not going to tolerate gaslighting from anyone in the media or from anyone on the other side who is trying to say that it's the president who is weaponizing the DOJ. It was Joe Biden and his attorney general who weaponized the DOJ. Joe Biden used this sacred American institution to go after his political opponent in the middle of an election year. And you look at people like Adam Schiff and like James Comey and like Letitia James, who the president is rightfully frustrated. He wants accountability for these corrupt fraudsters who abused their power, who abused their oath of office to target the former president and then candidate for the highest office in the land.